Welcome back to the iRacing Driving School. Our next unit will cover fundamentals of the racing line and cornering. Every racing circuit that you encounter, both in iRacing and in real life, will be comprised of a series of straightaways linked by a series of corners. I mean, it makes sense, right? You've got to turn at some point. Your job as a driver is to make use of all the available pavement within the defined track limits to find the optimal path or line. You want a line that allows you to optimize the car's handling abilities and carry maximum speed through every corner and onto every straight. The rewards for mastering the line, in conjunction with your other driving skill sets, are faster lap times and hopefully race wins. Also, keep in mind that whether you're racing on an oval or a road course, these basic principles still hold true. We're now going to take a closer look at how to find the best racing line, as well as the proper techniques for cornering, although you will find that not all corners are created equal. Let's take a moment to discuss some terminology that we'll be using to break down a corner. First is turn in, for the initial point on the track at which the driver turns the steering wheel to guide the car into the corner. The turning point varies from corner to corner, but it's vital because it adjusts the trajectory of the car to guide it to the next important target. Next is the apex. The apex is the term used for the inside edge or bottom of the corner that you're negotiating. The apex is the heart of the racing line, and accuracy is important. You want to be within inches of the apex of each corner on every lap. The final portion of the corner is the track out, for the last possible piece of asphalt at the edge of the track as you exit the corner. This is the easy part, because if you've executed the turn in and apex correctly, the car will naturally want to travel to the track out. The reason that these three terms are so important is because when driving through a corner, if we accurately place the vehicle next to each of these 3 points, we will be traveling on the largest possible radius through that corner. This is vital because the larger the radius, the higher the speed that we can carry through a given corner. Let's clarify the radius equals speed equation in basic terms. If you were to take a car onto a large open parcel of pavement, turn the steering wheel a quarter of a turn, or 45 degrees, and start driving on that constant radius, you would eventually reach a maximum speed, based on the grip available from the tires on that vehicle holding on that same radius. Any efforts to increase your speed would either create understeer or oversteer, most likely understeer, as the increased lateral forces cause the vehicle to overstep its grip threshold. Now, if you were to reduce your steering angle by as little as 5 or 10 degrees, changing trajectory to a larger radius, you would note that the vehicle would be able to travel at a higher speed. This is the principle that we have to apply at every corner. It's important to use all available pavement within the defined path of the racetrack to create the largest possible radius for maximum speed through the corner. You'll note in this diagram that 3 separate radii have been outlined. The first and most common misconception is that the fastest route through a given corner is the shortest route, meaning hugging the corner. Although that minimizes the amount of real estate that has to be covered, you can see that it forces the vehicle to travel on the smallest radius, and thus at the limit, carrying the lowest speed through the corner. Another radius, as you can see, would be to drive the vehicle around the outside of the corner. While this does give you a larger radius and more speed, it is, again, not the optimum method for getting around the corner. Now, if we apply our turn-in, apex, track-out model, you'll see that the radius created is simply more efficient than the other two. A higher rate of speed is carried through the corner, and our track-out speed is optimal, showing all 3 lines taken at the same time. You'll see that finding the right turn-in, apex, and track-out is the fastest way to get through the corner. One last important note. Sometimes, instead of grass or gravel, there will be additional pavement in the runoff areas that are beyond the white lines that indicate the track limits. While it may be tempting to use this extra space to create an even wider radius, and you've probably even seen some pro drivers do it before, think of it here like stepping out of bounds in any other sport. Those out-of-bounds surfaces may not change either, but they still aren't in play. If you leave the track limits, the sim may not count your lap time, so make sure to check the track rules if you have any questions.